Another long night of crime and violence.
Some say it's only a matter of time before the city implodes.
I think we're finished here.
I found him. Samaritan.
He's back. He's coming for me.
Let's start now.
No!
Jessica, I'm the only one who matches you. And we're inevitable.
Oh my God.
God didn't do this. The devil did.
We've never seen anything even close to your levels of exposure. That you survived an event like that, it's beyond my comprehension.
I don't want to control it. I want to get rid of it.
This Organized Chaos podcast is brought to you by listeners like you. Thank you. Hello and welcome to another Organized Chaos podcast. You again have chosen correctly on your podcast choices. Congratulations. You've done well.
Good job.
Joining us as always is Bobby Quarters. How you doing, Bobby?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm here. Got an interesting week ahead of us. Well, this week we'll be covering the new Amazon Prime Sylvester Stallone superhero movie, Samaritan. Something I didn't even know existed until a couple weeks ago. I was like, oh, that sounds kind of cool. We should cover that.
Yeah.
We'll also be covering the back end of Jessica Jones Season 1. And then we'll be talking about The Incredible Hulk, because we like to let a couple episodes of a series collect before we talk about that series. But, you know, we can cover some of the back issues essentially leading up to that series.
Yeah.
And actually, yeah, we'll get to it. But yeah, there are links between Incredible Hulk and Episode 2 of She-Hulk. So, not unrelated things.
Okay.
Are we ready to head into the news?
Yes, let's dive into it.
All right.
Because we got a fun news docket this week.
Yeah. So, the first thing we're bringing up is something that was brought up last week about Hamilton, the play Hamilton, and a church doing an anti-LGBTQ plus religious version of the play, and Lin-Manuel Miranda issuing a cease and desist. Latest update, the church says they've only done 2 performances of it. One was live streamed and one was no video allowed. And that they apologize and they will not be doing any more performances of it. So, hey, good deal. I guess I don't have much to add to this story other than just do an update. Do you have anything to add, Bobby?
I believe that there was something about, I had read something about there was damages done to it. I
heard something about that too. I have a Hollywood Reporter article up and they don't bring that up.
Yeah, I have a CNN one up. I have a CNN one up and I don't see anything about it either. But I also, where I read that too also was that Miranda would take whatever money that he gets from the suit or whatever, like damages or money that he would get from it, he would donate it to an LGBTQ plus rights campaign or organization, like, since he is an avid supporter of that community.
That sounds excellent.
Yeah, that does.
Fantastic. Yeah, so hopefully that won't be a bad thing in my opinion.
No.
So next news piece coming up would be House of the Dragon, a series I have not watched yet, but we are discussing next week on the podcast.
Finally.
Apparently it's doing all types of records on HBO Max. It's their biggest premiere ever. I don't know if it's their biggest series ever. Yeah, I'm kind of excited to talk about, but got renewed for season 2 already, which is not shocking at all. I'm excited to watch it. You see, when this series was getting announced and all the production for it, I was so kind of burnt out on Game of Thrones still that I wasn't really excited for this series, but hearing all the buzz about it has kind of got me excited about it again. You have any thoughts, Bobby?
I was excited about it after they had wrapped Game of Thrones, because I think within that series, I'd say that all the lore that we had that we were told about throughout the series about the Targaryens, that was interesting. And that's something that I kind of always wanted to see more. And then George released a book about it.
Yeah.
So I haven't had a chance to read that book yet, but I mean, I've dove into like the lore rabbit holes of Game of Thrones.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all stuff that I still just find very fascinating and interesting. So I'm very excited to get into the series.
Yeah.
And it's like it's I'll admit it's been hard to avoid spoilers for this show. It has been a little hard.
Yeah, I've been trying to just avoid reading about it at all, and I do want to. I am excited to finally dive into it. I think it's important to remember with Game of Thrones. Yes, it did end disappointingly, but there are still really great seasons in that series. So it'd be a shame to dismiss this.
And even with the last season kind of being as what it is, there's still so much that is great about the show that you could easily overlook. Even in those last few episodes, there are some great moments.
Oh yeah, no, I still maintain season 8 had a great idea.
Yeah,
just didn't really execute it well at all.
No. I mean, I still loved watching Qyburn die how he did.
Yeah, there
just
great
back of a rock.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah,
that was satisfying.
Yeah. Even in the worst season, there are moments. So there are worse things in the final season of Game of Thrones. It just fell short of what we'd been used to with that series. And I mean that show came very close to jumping the shark several times in my opinion. No, there are other splotchy points too. Yes, but things while House of Dragon got renewed, not everything did because Netflix's Resident Evil series got canceled after one season.
Oh, shocking!
This is not something. Did you watch it, Bobby?
No. I kind of think that this story is kind of a hard one to transfer to a new medium.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it really seems like it.
And everyone has the pre-interpretation of it that it is like Resident Evil is like the Mila Jovovich movies.
Yeah. Which, okay.
And those are, all right. That's cool.
I guess an action vehicle for Mila Jovovich. I'm not against it, but as Resident Evil, it's like, okay, what?
Yeah, I kind of thought the first one sucked. So
yeah, it's weird. Like I can enjoy watching those movies, but at the same time, they're not good.
They're not
this
good.
Weird thing with them. It's like,
I mean, and I love bad movies, but those aren't good.
Yeah,
at all.
It's like it's not even like a so bad it's good thing. It's just kind of this weird. It's weird. It's tough to describe. They're not good. There are worse things to watch as far as entertainment, but they're not good. No, they are not. Like even if you enjoy it, you're gonna forget about 5 seconds after you stop watching it. Like no memory. But as far as this new series, I've heard pretty much largely nothing but negative things, and the only reason I was kind of interested in checking it out, but I just don't have time, was I knew lots of people are bashing on Lance Reddick, and like the more like people who gave it a serious shot or actually watched it, I might want to say, were pointing out that Lance Reddick was actually one of the best parts. He just is playing a traditionally white character, and that's why people are bashing it. So,
okay,
yeah, that was pretty bad reason to bash it, but to my understanding, for the most part, every other part of this series sucked. But like I said, I haven't seen it. I don't know. Maybe I would watch it and love it, but probably not, especially now that it's canceled.
Yeah, I think the odds of that are slim.
Mm-hmm. All right. Next piece, we got MGT, but not the good MGT. We're not talking about Magic the Gathering. Marjorie Taylor-Greene, of course,
this woman.
She's come out blasting student loans, and this is
what's my crazy little slice of Georgia batshit say?
Well, she's blasting people for the very moderate milquetoast Biden student loan relief thing he did. Here's my issue with Biden's student loan relief. It doesn't go far enough. Not remotely. It's $10,000 for student loans, $20,000 if you have a Pell Grant. Which, hey, it's better than nothing, but not a lot. Most people have a minimum of $50,000 student loan, period.
Yeah.
So it's not nothing, but it's pushing it. And
is it a step in a good direction?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's what some would even dare say call progress.
Mm-hmm. It's the reason to call out Marjorie Taylor-Greene specifically because all the Republicans are blasting this.
Other than the fact that she's horrible.
Yeah, well, yeah, also she's horrible. But she's
absolutely terrible.
During 2020, during all those grants being given to businesses during the pandemic, she got $183.5 thousand worth of paycheck protection programs towards her business. So while she's bitching about people getting $10,000 of their loan forgiven, she's getting like 18 times that more. So yeah, no, to point her out, she's a hypocrite. No,
she is.
Yeah,
she is, and she's
terrible.
And I also kind of find it funny that she's getting so angry over this, over an act alone that her whole core belief structure that she proudly boasts about is completely based and started upon somebody paying for the debts of others.
Yeah.
I have nothing to say.
Yeah. She's a disgusting human being.
Mm-hmm.
But
there's a few others that are just like her that are also disgusting human beings.
Quite a few. Jesus Christ, Matt Gaetz and Lauren Boebert always rise to the top of the list. But
I don't enjoy the fact that I follow them on Twitter. I follow them A, to keep tabs, and B, to troll a little.
You see, I've thought about following them on Twitter just to do just that, but then again, I don't want to add to their follower count. So it's just this evil like back and forth with
old
me.
Teddy's blocked me twice.
Oh.
And taken the block off.
Well, if we're looking at senators, Ted Cruz. Fuck him.
Oh no, those are those are the core four that I keep tabs on on Twitter. Also, but mostly, like I said, to troll. But it's kind of funny though, if you go through those comments, a lot of people there are just troll.
Oh yeah.
And there's some great humor in there.
Mm-hmm.
Some good back and forth.
But heading on to some better news, I don't know how to think about this. But Meghan Markle has successfully topped Joe Rogan on podcast charts on the Spotify podcast chart. Yeah, I guess the Spotify one would be the only one that matters because that's the only place where Joe Rogan is.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the biggest podcaster in the world, and she has a bigger podcast. I'm not a particular fan of Meghan Markle. I used to be okay with Joe Rogan, but now I don't. No.
Now, let's explain to the folks listening who Meghan is.
Okay, Meghan Markle. Let me dig up. Yes. Okay, so she's married to Prince Harry of the royal family. They made a big deal, I remember, about leaving the royal family. And it's kind of weird because they're very public about leaving the royal family, but they don't want the spotlight of being part of the royal family. Well, I'll be frank, I don't really understand them. I don't know.
And there's something else that's kind of interesting about this, I think, is that Meghan was also, I believe, the first person out of British hierarchy or high society. Harry married outside of what would have been expected of him, I guess.
True.
His role. Again, I don't understand a lot of the monarchy thing over there. I think it's just kind of more of a land and title sort of thing.
Well, no, see,
because they have parliament, they have government, they have a Donald Trump or had a Donald Trump.
Yeah. Is he still there, or has he officially stepped down? I know there was a delay.
I think he officially has stepped down.
I know he did step down, but there's a delay on it. But I don't know if we reached that
Something.
point yet. Yeah.
I don't know.
But yeah. And I don't know what was worse, the fact they had their own Donald Trump, but somehow their version of Donald Trump was still better than the actual Donald Trump.
Yeah, like, he wasn't a total jackass.
He's pretty close, though.
Hey, he was pretty fucking close,
In case you're wondering, yes, we are talking about Boris Johnson.
Yeah, yes.
But yeah, Meghan Markle is... I know in the royal family she's had to deal with some racism as well, because I believe she's a
she was an American, yeah.
By looking at her. No.
Well, she's American, yeah. She was born in Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I know the royal family got pissed at her for voicing that, but I don't know. I'm of the opinion of good. You need to voice it when people like that do stuff like that.
Yeah, I believe also that she has like kind of talked about some things that are somewhat behind the scenes, which is what I imagine this podcast is mostly about.
Yeah, probably that might be
which again it is this country's fascinating interest with the royal family.
Yes.
I will admit it is interesting, and it's a little. It seems just weird or unusual to me that a lot of those customs are still in place and still acting, but it's like Queen, like it's just like a figurehead.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
What's the point of all that?
Yeah, it's interesting.
Wouldn't Buckingham Palace be better served for, I don't know, affordable housing for people?
Yeah, I would think so, without a doubt. But you know what? We got to have these figureheads. And I know they're technically supposed to just be a tourist attraction. But yeah, they even if they technically don't have political power, they do have an influence, being able to say stuff and just having the platform they have. There's an influence involved.
Yes, they do have influence. Yeah.
Not technical influence, but there's influence.
Like, there is. Like, I mean, I know that like recently Elizabeth fell kind of ill, and I remember seeing an article about it, and there was like a horde of people outside, just like candles and signs of just like hearts and everything. And so it's like they do mean a lot to the country over there. And I don't want to make it sound like we're disparaging that at all.
No. But yeah.
But I think like the impact they have in England is strong. But so I would understand in that sense kind of why they took a section or objection to Harry marrying her. But I mean, I don't know. It's interesting. But it is kind of, I find it, and it is, I see why her podcast would go past Joe Rogan's. Has Joey Boy said anything about this? Has he made any comments?
Question. I think I might have seen something about it, but I don't know.
Did he say something arrogant or something politically correct?
I would like a better source. I see something here on Geo News, which I've never even heard of before.
But also, to be fair, they are our oldest allies.
Yes, they are.
and within our history of a country, when we or they even had a conflict, we both always were the first to answer each other's calls.
Okay, I see a couple articles about Joe Rogan reacting, but not from sources I trust. So I'm going to go ahead and say...
Who is it? Really. We got this covered?
Not we got this covered, but it's like Geo
equivalent.
News. There's only like 3, and it's like Geo News. It's stuff I've not heard of. It's not even we got this covered. I've at least heard of we got this covered and no. But yeah. Well, are we ready to talk about Samaritan?
Oh, yes.
All right.
I'm gonna wipe my lens down real quick.
Okay.
Might be it. But you could lead into Samaritan.
Oh, sure. Tell me to do that after I get a drink.
No, while you're doing it.
But yes, Samaritan was a movie I wasn't super familiar about until like a few weeks ago. And essentially my selling point was, hey, Sylvester Stallone's doing a superhero movie. And I'm like, I'm sold. I want to see that. And what kind of helped me even get a bit more sold into it was seeing the director. This is directed by Julius Avery, who directed a movie from a few years ago that I remember going to the theater and not really thinking much of it, and then watching it and being really impressed. It was called Overlord. essentially a World War II horror movie that I really enjoyed. So I had kind of high hopes for this one. Now, were those hopes dashed? I don't know. I would say I enjoyed this more than I didn't enjoy it. But it's not perfect by any stretch of the word. What were your thoughts going into this, Bobby?
This gave me a lot of Last Action Hero vibes.
Ooh, okay. It's definitely not as tongue-in-cheek in that.
No, definitely not as tongue-in-cheek.
Yeah.
Definitely not, but, like, it's more so just the dynamic with Sly and the kid.
Yeah.
Is really what made me more think of that. I guess, as we always do, we're going to spoil this, right?
Yeah, we're going to spoil this, because I guess I might as well tell you the movie that this gave me a lot of vibes off of. And this is a spoiler. The movie this gave me a lot of vibes off of was Megamind.
Yeah, I kind of picked up on that a little.
Yeah.
But the story in this is that the city is like this Death Wish 3 era town.
Yeah, it's
like just it is the
city.
yeah. So what's funny is when it said Granite City, I was like, oh, Dayton.
Oh God. Sure.
Dayton is actually the Emerald if you do not live in Ohio.
Yeah.
But I watched it with the wife, and we just both kind of chuckled at that because Dayton was at one point kind of a bad waste, but not this level bad. Just the town was crumbled.
But yeah.
But Nan Wheeler brought it back. Oh, Nan in Ohio.
Hey, I plan on it. I plan.
Yeah, but Samaritan and his big bad guy, who was his twin brother, Nemesis, they had a big fight on a building, and at one point, they both allegedly perished. But Samaritan killed Nemesis. This kid sees Sylvester Stallone, this homeless man, going through trash, and he kind of thinks that he might be him because he's like big and strong like him, and he kind of saved him from getting mugged by eating the ever-living shit out of some guys.
Yeah.
And at the time, and the kid even said to him at some point, like, yeah, you're him, you're a hero. But Sly keeps saying, oh, you keep saying that. As if to kind of play it off like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not this guy. But I kind of thought those were interesting words to say, and I had the thought maybe he's actually Nemesis.
Yeah.
And, that's how this is going to end.
Exact same thought crossed my mind very early on.
Yeah, and I was right.
Yeah.
And I was kind of happy that I was right.
No, it was the big twist, and I feel like either there's two ways to handle this, and I don't know if they handled it great. I
think they did. I think they did handle it pretty good because you saw how, scared Euron Greyjoy was.
Yeah.
When he knew he was going to get his ass kicked by the real Nemesis.
Yeah. But
because even my wife said midway, like, he's a copycat. He's not the real guy. And I was like, well, what, you think he's Samaritan? He might be. I don't know. But I don't know. It was kind of a nice take off of, like, the line from The Dark Knight, where it's like you live long enough to see yourself either become the bad guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like either you live to be...
If you live long, you either die the hero or you become the villain or something like that.
Or you live long enough to become the bad guy.
Yeah.
Which I always have really liked that line. And it's kind of a nice flip on that take, though.
Yeah, definitely. So like I think Bobby's already said it. Yeah, the twist is Samaritan died in that fight.
Yes.
Nemesis survived.
Yeah.
Sylvester Stallone.
And Nemesis even tried to save him.
Yeah. No,
Nemesis even tried to save Samaritan.
Well, it's his brother.
Yeah. It's his brother, yeah.
And and it caused Nemesis to just kind of shut down. And essentially, kind of the cool idea is at the end of this movie, he is Samaritan, which I like that take. Yeah,
I do too.
He's decided he's taking on that mantle, mainly just because he likes this little kid, and I do like the relationship between them quite a bit.
I do too. Another thing that I'll get to that. I'll get to that in a second. Another thing that kind of gave me a clue early on was on for a hero to have a power where they heat up really quickly, and they could go like supernova. That's a very odd power for Samaritan.
Yeah,
that seems more like a nemesis
well,
power.
I think even the kid mentions, wow, that sounds like Nemesis's thing, where he's describing it. It's like, yeah. And even before then, I was kind of thinking, is he not Samaritan? Is he Nemesis? Because I remember having that thought early on.
And it was the second time that he said, like, you're a hero. You keep saying that, kid. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, that's odd that he responded to that statement twice like that.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
yeah. But also, I'd say like one of my favorite parts were actually two separate favorite parts, where that guy with the multicolored braids got punched in the mouth by the kid.
Yeah, he got decked nicely.
So, that second time was really hilarious. How he's running up like, yeah, who's a bitch? He cracked him and he said, you're a bitch. I had to go back because I was laughing. I missed some stuff. That was hilarious. Genuinely hilarious.
Oh, yeah. Well,
there were some parts with Sly's humor that were genuinely great. Like, made me like a real laugh. Like, I think after the first big fight that he had with some guys in the alley, where one dude ran up and stabbed him, and he's like, really?
Yeah, he seems kind of annoyed.
Just kind of hip tossed him through a wall.
Well, that's one thing I definitely want to bring up here, because Sloane does give a really good performance here.
Yeah, he does.
And I mean, I think it shouldn't be shocking at this point, because Sloane usually does a good performance. It's tough to think of movies where he half-asses it. He usually gives a pretty good goddamn performance in whatever movie he's in.
No, absolutely.
My issue was I always felt the twist was a bit too obvious, and I always felt there's two ways to possibly handle it better. Either A, tell the audience early on that he's Nemesis, so you're just waiting for the kid to find out. I'm not sure if that's the best tactic, or B, play it close to the vest, because I feel like the clues were a bit too obvious.
Yeah, they really were.
Yeah, I felt they were very obvious. There's one too many times where he's telling the kid, I'm not the hero. It's like, really? Really? Oh, and we get a good view of Bobby's shirt again.
Yes.
I noticed it before the podcast. It is excellent. Torgo, an awesome Manos Hands of Fate reference. I love it.
Torgo.
But yes, that would be probably my biggest complaint with this movie. Because I like, overall, the idea behind the movie. I like the setup for Nemesis, where we have the main villain of the movie. You brought him up. It was the crappy Greyjoy guy. Euron, yes. Oh. He's an actor I see around. He's always a great villain.
I think I could solve my camera problem.
Ooh,
Hold on.
Okay. But when he has this great speech about Nemesis, where he's talking about what was great about Nemesis, why Nemesis was the hero, because he idolized Nemesis, is because Nemesis just punches up. He's going after the big guys. Samaritan was just like the police, whereas Nemesis always punched it up. And I like that. I like that idea. And I also like this guy who idolizes Nemesis. Once he gets some power, he just starts punching down almost immediately. It's like, okay, you like Nemesis, but you're not even doing what he's doing. By your own words, you're misrepresenting him.
But I mean, he has plenty of cronies to do a lot of his dirty work, which, good on him for that. I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
But still though, he has guys who are hustling children.
Mm-hmm. No, he's a nasty dude.
That little rat boy with braids.
Yeah.
Man, I really wanted Sly to beat the shit out of him, but I'm happy that kid clocked him good in the chin.
Yeah, that was a good moment. Yeah, I said I really like the relationship between the kid and Sly, I guess, Nemesis, Samaritan.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously you're full-fledged in, the twist. It gives me a lot of vibes of Megamind, almost like the serious version of Megamind. Like, well, if we treat this story almost semi-seriously, kind of the villain decides, kind of beats the hero, and then a new villain rises kind of in the image. I guess, that's kind of where the difference is. Obviously, in Megamind, he makes the hero that turns to the villain, whereas here, he just is idolizing Nemesis. But completely misrepresenting him. I'd be kind of interested to know, like, the early stories of Nemesis and Nemesis and Samaritan.
How did he punch up?
Yeah.
Were there other superheroes?
Go? Yeah.
Were there other heroes? What about their parents?
Yeah, definitely.
What did their parents do?
There's backstory here I'm actually interested in. Yeah.
Is it kind of like a Superman thing where they left their planet and were sent here? Yeah, I'm curious.
Yeah. There's lots to unpack here. I don't know if there'll be more movies on this. I'm not disinterested. Like I said, no. I don't think this is perfect. I think it has its problems. I will say, if I can tell you the pitch, Sylvester Stallone is a superhero, and you hear that pitch and you want to watch this, I definitely recommend watching it.
Yeah.
If that pitch doesn't work for you, probably skip it. But if that pitch works for you, go check it out.
If you just say Sylvester Stallone's a superhero, you go, cool.
Yeah.
It is good.
Yeah.
And it is a lot better than you would think it is. And Sly still turns up.
Yeah. No, he's a good actor. He's underrated, I think, as an actor lots of times, because he's a solid actor.
He is.
I am still a little bit disappointed he's not going to be in Creed 3. That being said, I'm still expecting a cameo from him.
Or at least.
Yeah.
No, it's going to be the robot from 5.
Yeah. Or
Happy
4.
Birthday,
Yeah,
Polly.
the robot's in 4, actually.
4, yeah. Happy birthday, Polly.
5 is when they decide to go realistic again and a bit boring.
That robot was realistic.
Oh, sure. Well, I mean, I guess living in the 80s at that time, a goofy robot like that isn't unrealistic. Oh, God.
And in no way was Rocky a Saturday morning cartoon character in 4. By any means.
No. 4 was the most serious Rocky movie of them all. To be taken
you want some Rocky-O's?
Yeah.
I mean, still, his best fight was with Thunderlips.
Yeah. Shit. Okay, it took me a second. Yeah, you're talking about being in Rocky 3.
Yeah. Yes, I'm talking about the time he fought Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
Yes, when he fought Hulk.
Yeah.
When Hulkamania was running wild.
Yeah. Well,
now Hulkamania is just kind of running wild.
The Rocky franchise was interesting. It starts super serious, and then it continues super serious, and then it gets goofy, and then it goes back to serious. And then it goes back.
Yeah, we get 2 goofy films.
Yeah. I don't even know if I want to say they're bad films, because they're entertaining films, but they're
no, 3 is great.
Yeah. Well,
3 is great.
Yeah. Like, they're both goofy. 3 is like where they're definitely dipping their toes a lot in the goofy, and then 4 is like full-fledged goofy.
And then 5, like, no, we gotta go serious again.
And it's a bit too hard to swerve.
And we just only need one character who's going to be crazy and over the top. Let's see if Don Kane wants to be in this movie. He can't. Let's just have an actor pretend to be him, but it won't be Don Kane, but it will be.
Yeah. Well, we, God, yeah. When are we covering Rocky movies? That's got me interested.
I don't know.
I'm kind of excited
it's on there. Now.
Yeah. I think I had to scale it back a lot because our stuff was coming up.
Okay. We save it for the holidays. Movies that bring the family together.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it will be coming out around that time. Let me bring it up on my phone because my computer's sloppy.
Ooh. With Memorial, we could talk about that after the show.
Looks like we start covering. Looks like we just got Rocky and then the Creed movie starting on November 7th.
Okay.
So it'll come.
Yeah.
But yeah,
get to it.
Samaritan, not bad. Not perfect, but not bad.
Bad.
If you're sold on the pitch of Sylvester Stallone as a superhero, go check it out. Yeah.
It's better than, some other ready-made superhero movies I've seen Hollywood turn out.
Oh, for sure. All right.
I mean, it's not as funny as Blank Man, but it's just as good.
You see, I haven't seen Blank Man, but
oh man, that's an older 90s one.
Yeah. All right. Are we ready for Jessica Jones? Yeah.
Yes. Let's get into this season finale.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I was pleased. I was very satisfied with how this season ended.
Yeah, I know. I remember first watching the season finale and being a bit disappointed with it, but upon rewatching it this time around, I was like, this is completely satisfying. Maybe I
I kind of forgot
the hopes of it before. Maybe
I kind of forgot exactly where we had left off with it.
Mm-hmm.
And it was right when Tenet's character, Killmonger, not Killmonger,
Kilgrave.
Yes, Kilgrave had just, told his mother to kill himself, tried to get his father to kill himself, and told her best friend to put a bullet inside of her head.
Yeah.
And have the cop leave him. Like, I kind of forgot, the shit has literally just hit the fan.
And then
when I started up.
The most important reveal being Jessica realizing his powers don't work on her anymore.
Yeah. Most importantly, he has no power over her.
He just told her, hey, Jessica, let go. And she just, doesn't. And it's like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, you even see him realize it, oh.
Well, he's been...
And I will say he definitely stepped up the ante in these last few episodes.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. So, he's been pretty sure she's been resistant to his powers, but you could tell that was the moment where he realized, fuck, I'm right.
Yeah.
And that was definitely the moment where she 100% realized, fuck, he just told me to do something and I didn't. But yes. Yeah, this is definitely the I feel like these 4 episodes are perfectly just like the third act of this whole season 1 story. Because this is him on the run from Jessica, but he's making it difficult for her. This is when he finally gets a hold of Luke Cage. And, oh my god, manipulation.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
I didn't see that coming. I thought he would have been, smart enough not to fall for that mess, but nope.
Yeah.
When he knocked her out, I was like, the fuck?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that whole thing where, Luke and Jessica have a nice thing going, and it's too bad that Kilgrave told Jessica to kill Luke's wife, because that does put quite a spoiler in their relationship. But, yeah, them reconnecting felt genuine. So you made sure he spent plenty of time away from Kilgrave so he won't have powers over him. But unfortunately, while this is going on, we also see Kilgrave with his father, making him come up with solutions and stuff to increase his powers, which he is doing. And that leads us to the nice moment where it feels like Luke is like, I forgive you, Jessica. It's okay. I'll forgive you every day that you need it. And then only to find out that Kilgrave says that same thing to her. And she's like, you were listening? And he's like, I wrote that. And then, of course, Luke is under his control for the whole time they've been together. Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah.
It's completely fucked up. I have to say, Kilgrave is probably one of my favorite villains. I mean, easily in Marvel, one of my favorite villains. But
no, I could agree with that.
Just, oh my god. I think...
Yeah, I could definitely agree with you. He is definitely finding his way to be one of my favorite Marvel villains as well.
Yeah, I think David Tennant plays him with a perfect amount of just, sleazy charm. I don't know how else to say it.
Scumbag.
Yeah, scumbag. Just complete fucking creepy piece of shit. But it's almost like how a character like that would be. Just completely full of himself, disconnected from how anybody else cares. Just not giving a shit. And he plays it really well.
He does.
Great villain from him.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to say it. I was going to be mean.
Oh. You're not allowed to be mean.
I'm sure working with Catherine Tate would do that.
Oh, ouch. But, yeah, this is...
I'm just kidding. I love Catherine Tate.
Yeah. She does have some good comedy.
I mean, she's not my favorite companion, but...
Oh. God damn it, now you've got me on companions.
Yeah. Right before you messaged me.
There's lots of good ones.
Right before you messaged me today, there was I guess I read this article on a Doctor Who page that it said that she was voted overall greatest companion ever.
She is talked about a lot as far as great companions. I like her. I don't know. I like Amy too. If we're going into classic stuff, Sarah's great. Jamie's great.
Sarah, yeah.
Yeah.
Sarah, yeah. Sarah. Sarah Jane.
Yeah, there's some great ones from the past. I think it's easy to overlook.
K9 was the best, though.
K9. Sure. We'll go with that.
He was the smartest.
Why do David Tennant conversations go to Doctor Who? What is the link
I have
I'm missing?
no idea. I'm sure that when we talk about House of the Dragon, Matt Smith conversations will go to Doctor Who as well.
So we need to grade the 11th Doctor's butt.
Yeah, he could wear a leather jacket, but not like 9.
Yeah, true. But
all right, yeah, okay. Yeah,
I do love the final confrontation. I don't know how they could have really done it better.
Yeah, I'll admit, at first I kind of, after like the moment when she killed him, I was like, wait, really?
Mm-hmm.
Like that? And it's okay.
Yeah, it's just kind of over. But like with Kilgrave, you're not going to get a big fight. He's not a fighter. At best, he's going to give you some cannon fodder fight over. Actually, once you get your hands on him and he can't control you, that's not much he can do from that point.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I kind of thought there would be some more just hellfire or something, but just no.
Well, I mean, that's usually what we get with Marvel, and I think it's kind of nice to play it a bit more, I don't know, logical, I guess.
Yeah, well, and I realize it's just more of like maybe like when I got down to watching Samaritan.
Yeah. I
even made the joke to the wife, like, I'm so conditioned by Marvel, and I just went through the credits and made sure there was nothing.
Oh my god, I did the exact same thing.
Yeah, I am so preconditioned from Marvel.
Yeah.
Like, you know, there is doctoring going on, and it's more for you to sit your butt in the theater and read all the people who worked hard on that movie.
Yeah, true. There's lots of hard work that goes into these movies, so a
lot of people.
Don't just bash it nonchalantly. No.
Yeah, like there's a guy who took shit from everyone on there every day, and that was his job, his or her job.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just an example of that. Like, we're used to seeing that in the bigger productions of Marvel, bigger feature films, which, you know, it's good and it's great and it works when it's supposed to. I don't think they have ever rarely used it when it shouldn't. I think the only people who are guilty of that within the past 5 years would be DC.
Yeah. Yeah, we really need Doomsday and Batman v Superman, though. Really do. I mean, really.
Well, I mean, like the bad guy in the first Wonder Woman movie, that was appropriate.
Yeah.
That was appropriate. Like, that worked. The second one, though.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Like I don't think it needed. Like it was more of a mythical thing in the second. I don't know. The second one is its own bag of.
Yeah, I've never hidden the fact that I like it way more than most people, but there are issues.
Yeah,
it's definitely a can of worms to break open. I'm sure we'll get to Wonder Woman 3 at some point, so we'll bring them up.
Yeah, or whenever they decide to release their next DC picture, whatever isn't getting canceled or delayed.
Yeah. Well, I think Black Adam.
I just read Black Adam, and I heard they both got delayed.
Did they?
Yeah.
We'll see. That might affect the podcast schedule a bit.
Yeah.
I know.
We can check it out.
I think I saw Aquaman 2 was delayed until the end of next year. When it was supposed to come out the end of this year, which is just like, okay.
Gotta reshoot some certain scenes.
Yeah. I am so burnt out on Amber Heard, Johnny Depp.
I am too.
Like,
Johnny's gonna be replacing her.
Oh God.
I'm sure. No, I if they haven't announced it or anything, I'm pretty sure they cut her out, and that's probably why she's countersuing back.
Might be, yeah.
Maybe, but I mean, they'd probably just, you know, quietly recast Emilia Clarke.
We'll see, because I had also heard that James Wan and Jason Momoa were wanting to keep her in there.
I did not hear that.
Yeah, but yeah, we will see how it turns out.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
You would think the two of them would have enough sway to say, "Hey, we're keeping her in there." They're releasing Aquaman 2. They're not gonna not do Aquaman 2. Yeah, I would think the two of them saying that would be enough. But we'll see.
Well, yeah. And I mean, if you get your star to walk away from it, then that DC has been just problematic. Their whole film.
DC, like I really felt like DC was in a good position after Endgame to really rise up and maybe become the dominant superhero thing. And they really have not been taking advantage of it. Yes, we've gotten some good movies. And then it really seems like right now it's just kind of a shit show again. It's like, this is why Marvel
I really felt they knocked it out of the park with Shazam.
Yeah, they did a great job with Shazam.
Great movie all around.
That last Suicide Squad was so much fun. And then
and the last Suicide Squad was so much better.
Yeah, it's like this is what Suicide Squad's supposed to be.
Like, yes, crazy, chaotic, mayhem. This is exactly what they... Yes. Mm-hmm. Thank you. Thank you for allowing directors who direct Marvel movies to direct DC movies. Thank you.
And that's the thing. That's what DC had that Marvel didn't. Marvel... I've always said that. Marvel usually gets newer directors who have less control. And then, they can do less with the project. And you end up with good to meh movies. And, that's fine. I've never had an issue with that. I've gotten to a point where I'm not expecting... Occasionally you get something really great from Marvel. Usually it's good. But the problem is DC had the point where it's like they could just hand over the keys to a director because their whole DCEU is floundering at this point. Just hand over the keys to a director and just let them do whatever the fuck they want. It means they can get lots of great stuff in the DCEU. And it really seems like they're not even going to try now. Which is really disappointing. But we will see.
Which is good because, like we saw at the end of Zack Snyder's DC or his Justice League.
Yeah.
I one thing that I think I've told you before is that I feel that the original Justice League film was lacking as one of its core characters from its most modern interpretation, and that's John, Martian Manhunter.
Yeah.
He kind of helps with all the off-world things, and he's there to explain everything and why he's there. Mm-hmm. If he had shown up from the beginning and was trying to get all of you together and work together, I think that movie
fixes so much issues because in the Zack Snyder version of the movie, it's essentially his dreams, and then in the theatrical, they have that scene where it's like the alien body leaves that silhouette, and that's why Batman needs to put Justice League together. But yeah, make Martian Manhunter the anchor of your goddamn movie. He brings the heroes together because of this extraterrestrial threat from Darkseid. Oh my god, that is the most obvious storyline ever, and it gives you, you can just introduce Martian Manhunter. But, he's going to
you can introduce, one of the greatest characters in DC.
Yeah, and Martian Manhunter's great. We need more Martian Manhunter. Yeah, we need...
he was my favorite part of the cartoon.
Yeah.
I love rewatching it just for him.
Yeah.
Also, and Kevin fucking Conroy's back.
But,
it's Kevin Conroy.
We have gone derailed from Jessica Jones a bit here, but...
Yeah, sorry, we got on failing movies and then it turned into a rant.
We've gone from talking about, the smaller ending to Jessica Jones to, Justice League, which has the most overblown ending ever.
Yeah.
But, it happens. Jessica Jones does not have a Justice League ending, and it doesn't need a Justice League ending, because I really like the ending.
No, it doesn't.
I like Kilgrave essentially trying to do his psychological tricks to Jessica, and how it leaves you not sure if maybe he can control her again, because that's been his sole goal with his dad manipulating his powers. He doesn't care about the stronger reach or holding people longer. His whole goal is just to get Jessica back. And he thinks for a second she does, but it turns out she's just fucking with him.
Yep.
He even talks about, taking her sister and just raping her. And it's like, oh my god, you sick son of a bitch.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jessica gets the better of him. And thank God. And I do appreciate the fact that Jessica essentially plays his own game against him. Because he likes to fuck with minds, and she just fucks with his mind for a little bit before she kills him. I kind of do that. I
kind of knew when we in those later episodes, even though we were treated, or not treated, but we saw it happen at the end of the last block of Jessica Jones shows. I knew, like, his mom's gone.
Mm-hmm.
I knew his dad wasn't going to make it.
Yeah.
I knew his dad wasn't going to make it, no matter what. No matter how great the bonding seemed. Well, the whole blender scene is really what made me go, you ain't walking away from this, Pop.
Yeah. Well, that blender thing. That blender is just, God, no.
Yeah,
no. He's sticking his hand in there, and you're like, oh God, what are we doing? I
might have just went skip. Okay, I get it. I don't want to see this.
Ooh. But yeah, this is I really go back and forth as far as my favorite Netflix seasons that I've seen so far. Whether or not Daredevil season 1 or season 1 of Jessica Jones is my favorite, because I love both of them. I thought they're great introductions to
they both are equally great.
Yeah, they're both
equally
amazing.
And I caught this earlier. When she was at the hospital, we had our first crossover from Daredevil.
Oh yeah,
Rosario Dawson appeared.
Yeah, Claire, the night nurse.
Claire, and she said, "Yeah, there's a guy I know. He fights for pretty good. He wears a mask." She's just like, "What's he wearing a mask for? What does he need to hide that for?
Mm-hmm.
How can a guy wearing a mask like that be good?"
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, well, he beats up people who need to be beat up.
Yeah.
And like she had mentioned something, and Jones was like, "Yeah, I heard about that."
Mm-hmm.
And she kind of went like, "All right, I'm gonna have to remember that."
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's like, oh, the Defenders.
Mm-hmm.
Teasing the Defenders in season 1 of this.
But we will get to Defenders. I don't even know next time we'll get a chance to cover some of this stuff, but I think the next thing up would be Daredevil season 2. I'll double check that, but I'm pretty sure that's it. It's either Daredevil season 2 or Luke Cage season 1, but I'm pretty sure it's season 2.
I think it's season 2 and then Luke Cage.
Yeah. But are we ready to talk about Incredible Hulk?
Yeah. Yes.
So
I have a well, there is it. Yep.
Okay.
I don't know what happened to my screen.
Oh, hey, you blew up again.
Yeah, there. See,
I will fix you, and then it'll go back. Oh my God, you're going all over.
What is happening?
I have to get you in back, and then as soon as I fix this, it will go back the way it's supposed to be.
Yes, here is the prop for today.
Yes.
Last week I had a movie. This week I have this child's toy I found at a park bench by my work. It just so happens to be the Hulk.
Yes. But yeah, I do think it's interesting to talk about Incredible Hulk this week, because we just had episode 2 of She-Hulk, and it was kind of fun seeing Emil Blonsky again. Tim Roth returning in She-Hulk, talking about how he was the innocent victim in The Incredible Hulk, essentially how he was first under orders, and then and then we got to rewatch this movie, and it's kind of like, I don't know if he doesn't have a case, but it's super sussy.
Yeah, I don't know about that. As I recall, you held Mr. Blue at ransom almost to do this.
Well, that's the thing. So, like, anything after he starts getting the doses, I would say you could argue he's insane at that point.
Yeah.
But I do feel like Thunderbolt Ross, while he's definitely pushing him to do this research, he does make it his choice to dive in. He doesn't say he has to. You know what I mean?
I just laugh at his name, Thunderbolt.
Yeah, Thunderbolt Ross.
General Thunderbolt Ross.
Oh.
Dude, he sounds like a pro wrestler.
Yeah. But, yeah, it kind of brings us into The Incredible Hulk, because this is a movie I keep on going back and forth on, I swear. I watch it, and I think, And then I watch it again, I go, oh, that's better than I remember. Then I watch it again, I'm like, I just go back and forth every time.
The one thing I liked about this, and it's something that the last movie didn't do.
Yeah.
And it's something I kind of didn't like about it. I like that we got teases of the Hulk. Like, we didn't get to see it right away. We didn't get to see Hulk right away. It took us a while into this movie to get to see him. We would see, like, outlines or shadows or just, like, little bits of the Hulk.
Yeah.
Like, we still get an idea of like how massive he is in this film, because he is bigger in this movie than he was in the last. But I kind of really liked that more. That, we didn't get to see him right away. We got teased.
Yeah.
Until that final reveal of him. which was, I think, right before the school.
It's really in the school where you get the full shots of him. You do see him in that initial fight, but like it's lots of stuff in the shadows.
Yeah, like a lot of the shadowy stuff took place in the warehouse as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I will say, I like the overall look of Hulk in this better than the last movie by a decent amount.
Yes.
The only thing I dislike about this look of Hulk is that it doesn't look anything like Edward Norton. I wish they'd done something with the face. It feels like a different character, and I wish they'd just done a little bit more with the face. It's the one thing I appreciate about the Eric Bana Hulk design, because it looks like Eric Bana's face. And then in the future, that's what they do with Mark Ruffalo, too. So I don't know why they didn't do it here. I guess maybe they're just experimenting. Because overall, the Hulk design here, I think, is superior.
Well, I think, maybe somebody put their creative muscle to flex on this picture, which is probably why it doesn't look like Banner.
Yeah, maybe.
Someone on the film, I'm not going to name any names, but someone who was notorious for doing that on the pictures.
Well, of course, we're we're early into the Kevin Feige era of Marvel movies.
Yes.
And I think a fun fact to always take note of is that Edward Norton was not Feige's first choice for this role.
No.
Edward Norton was the first choice of the director, Louis Letnier, I believe his name is.
Okay. I didn't know that. Who was the first choice from Feige?
Mark Ruffalo. So we can see what happened when Edward Norton decided to get tricky with contracts.
Well, I think he tried to change the script on this.
Yeah,
which is usually
he had decent control over this one, but he wanted the same over the Avengers, and they weren't willing.
Yeah, I think that's what it was, and that's why he was asked not to join the Avengers.
Yeah, and I think Feige was even like, "Well, I want Mark Ruffalo anyway." So
yeah, Feige's like, "Well, I wanted Ruffalo in here."
Yeah,
Mark, you want to do this? Yeah, cool.
But yeah, this is Edward Norton's one appearance as the Hulk. I think he's fine. I do prefer Mark Ruffalo. I've never hidden that, but I think Edward Norton's fine in this.
No, I actually really enjoyed Norton as Banner more than I did Bana as Banner. And I have nothing against Eric Bana. I think he's a good actor. I think he really is a great actor. I just didn't think that was his strongest performance.
No, I won't say that's his strongest performance. It's weird. That 2003 Hulk movie is kind of just so hit and miss, because I do like some of his delivery, like especially when he's talking about the emotional stuff connected with Hulk.
Yeah. I
like his performance there. And I don't feel like Edward Norton really gets a chance to sink his teeth into this movie as much as Bana kind of did in there. That being said, the more casual stuff, which is more of what we get in this one, where it's just casual banter, I feel like Edward Norton does that better than Bana. So it's hit and miss with both of them. With me, at least. I still prefer Mark Ruffalo for all of them, and Bill Bixby.
Yeah.
And this is the movie. I think you were getting a little confused, but last week you were talking about Bill Bixby having a cameo on a movie. That's what happens here.
That's right. Yeah. This is the one that they both cameo in.
Yeah, and then of course we get Stan Lee and Lou Ferrigno both get their cameos, which is fun.
Well, yeah. Like I forget what was Stan's cameo in this one.
He was the one that drank the soda, and then
that's right.
Yeah, and reported it. Yeah, he was like, "Oh man, that has a kick." That had the Hulk's blood in the soda.
And Lou was a security guard. He left a medium pizza.
Yeah,
because I imagine Lou could smash a medium to himself.
No, well, actually, we saw he shared it with the one guy in the room who's played by the same actor in the Spider-Man Home movies, and Feige's went ahead and said, "Yeah, it's the same character. It's totally the same character," which I'm certain wasn't intended, but they're like, "Fuck it, sure."
Yeah.
But yeah, this is definitely one of the watch throughs where I kind of enjoyed it. This is not bad at all. And I'm sure next time now I'll watch it and I'll be like, this is nowhere. But yeah, this is fun. This feels like a big budget version of an episode of the series, which I guess the title suits it well, because the series was The Incredible Hulk as well.
Yeah.
It's like, give somebody $150 million to make an episode of that series, and this is kind of what you'd get. This is with a really big monster fight at the end. Really.
Yeah. No, I did enjoy this. Even like, what was it? There was a Marvel one-shot recently did that one come out recently?
Was it the one I texted you about?
Yes.
Yeah, it didn't come out recently. It came out like around the time of the Avengers when it was one of the first one-shots actually.
Okay.
I actually forgot about, so I'm glad you brought it up. But yeah, it's a fun one-shot. Talk about why they would send someone like Tony Stark to talk to Ross to get him on board with the Avengers. And it was Sitwell and Coulson in the one-shot. It's called The Consultant. It's on Disney+. It's 4 minutes. It's worth checking out. But reveals...
It is worth 4 minutes.
Yeah, it was... Like, the early one-shots were just, like, really cheap things. These guys were, like, bored. And it's like, we're on set. Let's just film something real fast. And I love them. I wish they did more of them. But yeah,
I did too.
It's them like, okay, we need to make a deal for Ross, but we don't want to make a deal for Ross, so we need to send somebody who will fuck it up. So they send Tony Stark, who's just an arrogant prick. And so they're like, awesome. This will piss off Ross and he won't agree. Yeah, it's a fun one shot. It's worth checking out. But yeah, this is a fun movie.
Oh,
but yeah,
I just kind of had a weird thought.
Ooh,
now not relating to Hulk, but semi to Hulk, like Avengers-esque. So, all right, in MCU timeline, right?
Yeah.
Cap went back to live his life with Agent Carter, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in Civil War, in the Winter Soldier, he had that little notepad that he was like writing stuff down to like things to listen to and check out.
Yeah.
And a lot of them had dates and everything and all that. So the stuff that was businesses, do you think Steve invested in them?
I don't know. Oh dear. He really shouldn't.
Yeah, he shouldn't because it's immoral. But
there's actually
that's why I don't think he.
Okay, so I've seen they have a comedy skit. I don't remember. It's like I don't remember the name of the channel. It's the Warp something, but they do a fun comedy skit about Steve being sent back in time. And then, like, it'd be, like, his reaction when he hears about stuff happening and having to be quiet about it. Like, he wakes up in the morning and sees the newspaper, and it's September 11th, 2001. And he's like, It's like, all this stuff is happening, and he's just like, I need to be quiet about it. I need to... Fuck. Warp Zone. That's the name of it. Yeah, check out the Warp Zone. They have a good skit on that. Yeah,
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, Captain America awkwardly realizing he has to be quiet about all the shit that's happening, and he knows exactly how it's going to play out. But yes, The Incredible Hulk is fun. Yes, another thing I always think is fun to point out is there is a deleted opening in this movie, and the deleted opening is the scene that he brings up in the Avengers, where his plan is to kill himself, and then the Hulk takes over. I don't know if that scene's on Disney Plus. It's definitely on like this special features. But
this was not on Disney Plus.
Yeah,
this was not on Disney Plus.
Yeah, like I said, it's a deleted scene. So
no, like I mean, Incredible Hulk.
That's right. Incredible Hulk isn't even on Disney Plus. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I had to. I got mine off. I got the copy I watched was from Amazon.
Yeah. I have it. You need to say something, but yes.
Didn't think of it.
Yeah, I didn't think that.
I kind of power grinded through all of this in like 2 days.
Okay, but yeah. This is like I said, I enjoyed this. I like the villain here. I do
too.
Here's the thing.
And so I like Tim Roth.
My biggest complaint about the 2003 Hulk was the villain. That weird offshoot absorbing man did not work for me. The villain here, Abomination, Tim Roth's Emil Blonsky, works extremely well for me. I like his gradual just going more and more insane, getting more and more into it. That fight before he's full Abomination, where he's just jumping around Hulk, is kind of cool. But you really see how overconfident he is very quickly, because Hulk wipes him out hard.
Quickly.
Yeah.
Quickly.
Yeah, he's able to dodge him for a little while, but that one time he doesn't dodge him, he's out.
Yeah, no, Hulk whoops his ass the first time.
Yeah.
He whoops that ass.
Yeah, bad. I will say I thought the CGI here didn't age fantastic. There's definitely shots where it looks wonky. So it's kind of a mixed bag with CGI. I think the CGI in the other one looks more real, but I think the designs they went for weren't as good. And here you have better designs, but the CGI doesn't quite hold up as quite as well. So it's a mixed bag, which one you choose. But yeah, I feel like a broken record. But yeah, this is a viewing where I enjoyed this more than I remember. I do wonder, now that we're going back into some Incredible Hulk stuff with She-Hulk, I wonder if we'll get any more Leader. Because obviously we got Abomination back. I think it'd be interesting to see what happens with Leader. I would be surprised if they didn't touch on it at all, because that's always been one of the biggest loose ends with the MCU. But we will see. Do you have any final thoughts on The Incredible Hulk, Bobby?
No, actually, I enjoyed it a lot. I kind of wish that we would have gotten another one.
Yeah.
Because I know that, like, with the version I was watching with Amazon, they'll have those notes that will pop up on it and everything. Mm-hmm. And that there was a sequel planned for it that would have had the Grey Hulk. And I think it would have gone with Tim Blake Nelson, maybe.
Okay. Oh, him as Grey Hulk. I wasn't even thinking about him as Grey Hulk. I assumed he'd be Leader.
Maybe. I forget what it was.
I know his character. I remember
reading about.
But yeah, they could. Yeah. MCU is never exactly comic accurate, so they could get creative with it. Yeah.
They could have gotten creative, but still, that would have been cool.
Yes, for sure. Well, Tim Blake Nelson is a good actor for that type of role. Kind of like the guy who seems like he might be okay, but is always a bit slimy. But yeah, fun movie. So next week. I just had it pulled up too. Next week, we have Fellowship of the Ring. We will be watching theatrical editions. And I think that'll be interesting, because I actually haven't seen theatricals in a long time.
And I am not a fan of the series.
You're not a fan of the Lord of the Rings movies?
No, it's alright. It's just not my go-to.
Really? I like them quite a bit, so we'll have different takes. Possibly.
Yes, we will.
Possibly. We'll be talking about the first 3 episodes of She-Hulk. Yes, we are finally getting the She-Hulk. And then we will be talking about the first 3 episodes of House of the Dragon. Yes, we are finally getting to House of the Dragon.
Finally getting into House of the Dragon.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, I just like to get a couple episodes collected up and then boom.
I understand.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Fire and blood.
Mm-hmm. Ooh.
Fire and blood.
Yes, but that is the plan for next week. Anything you want to add, Bobby, before we sign out?
No.
All right.
Take care.
Yeah, everyone have a good one. You're moving too much.
They think order and chaos are somehow opposites and try to control what won't.
Do you enjoy pain?
Pain don't hurt. Pain don't hurt.